Complementarity and disposition, or khilqa, masculine versus feminine traits. Fathers and mothers are not interchangeable. There are religious rules for men and others for women. We talked about this even in prayer, even where you wouldn't think it would be relevant. Like, men are supposed to stand more like apart when they're praying, women more contracted. Why? Well, because men, laysa dhakaru kal untha, right? Women are more contracted, men more expansive. That's just how they stand in the prayer and how they make the sujood, the prostration. So even in very minute, the Sharia is thoroughly gendered from start to finish, which is why I said earlier, the contemporary scene, race, gender, and sexual orientation is all one. We say no. Race, Islam makes no distinction between race. And it says in the Quran that, among his signs are the creation of, that the difference in your tongues and your colors are a sign of God, right? So absolutely no race distinction whatsoever, right? And the Prophet is very explicit, peace be upon him, that Arab is not superior to a non-Arab, nor non-Arab to an Arab, right? And a white man is not superior to a black man, nor a black man to a white man, except by way of piety and fear of God, right? So complete, I'm not saying there's no racism among Muslims, but in Islam, right, this is something that, races are all considered equal, right? Gender, equally valid and equally valuable. Men are not better than women, women are not better than men, but they are different. And so the Sharia treats them differently, and the gender distinctions are pervasive. So it's a thoroughly gendered tradition. So this idea of moving towards this androgynous norm where men and women are just all the same and there's no boundaries, this is completely against, just the heart of Islam. You have to throw the entire religion out the window to incorporate this type of thing, right? So we can't get on board with this kind of radical gender egalitarianism, which sees mathematical sameness and equality, and we will not rest until 50% of all CEOs and all companies are women, and 50% of all nurses and all hospitals are men. That's never going to happen, by the way, except through very coercive
social engineering. And Jordan Peterson, who speaks on this subject frequently, has an excellent, he's obviously a scientist, a clinical psychologist, and has a range of data. All the data speaks against this position that you're criticizing as well.
And there you go.
Oh, you were about to say it now. Okay.
Showing all sorts of psychological, physiological, psychological, and dispositional differences between men and women, though this is taboo to say today because it goes against, the zeitgeist and notions of social constructionism and certain, gender ideologies and so forth. So